Most of the time, introverts find solitude to be easy. For them, it's a normal and cozy state. Even extroverts, who typically seek more social connection, might occasionally be content with being by themselves. However, have you ever observed that some people simply detest being by themselves? Like, they must always be among people or they become really uneasy and anxious. What's the story there? Although feeling lonely or isolated when you're by yourself is common, for some people, the feeling can be overwhelming and even crippling. And there are a number of justifications for that. Let's explore this issue further and learn some unsettling truths about why some people have an unhealthy fear of being by themselves. Number 1. They probably have a serious fear of being left alone. People who strongly dislike being alone frequently experience a severe fear of abandonment. This dread typically stems from childhood incidents in which the person was left alone by parents or other close family members. Adults experience these fears in a variety of ways. Some people worry that their spouse will leave them, while others worry that if they don't spend enough time with their friends or family members, they will abandon them. And avoiding alone as much as they can is one way people cope with this dread. Therefore, despite the fact that they may appear to be social butterflies on the outside, their only motivation for maintaining frequent touch with others is to prevent feeling abandoned and alone. They may occasionally end up in very harmful relationships as a result of this. Number 2. They face self-esteem issues. People who dislike being by themselves frequently struggle with poor self-esteem. They believe that in order to feel good about themselves, they must always be among other people. Unfortunately, this can cause significant interpersonal problems as well as a great deal of anxiety and tension when no one is present. Setting limits in relationships might be challenging for someone who has poor self-esteem. They could cling to and become overly reliant on their relationship, which could be oppressive for the other person. The difficulty comes when they are alone and have nothing to divert their attention from their own thoughts. And if those thoughts aren't positive, being alone yourself can be really depressing. Number 3. They have trouble believing in their own judgment and themselves. One of the most unsettling facts about people who despise being alone is that they could have trouble believing in their own abilities and judgment. This apprehension may be caused by a lack of faith in one's own talents or apprehension over making the wrong decision. They therefore largely rely on others to make decisions for them even though they are capable of doing so. This may result in a pattern of dependence that is challenging to end. Number 4. They struggle to discover their own sense of identity and purpose. Building a strong sense of self and discovering a purpose in life might be challenging for someone who struggles with being by themselves. They are so concerned with blending in and avoiding being alone that they frequently struggle to identify their hobbies, values, and ambitions. These people occasionally put other people's needs and wants above their own, which impedes the development of their personalities. Instead of pursuing their own passions, they could feel under pressure to live up to the expectations of others around them or to take on their interests and pastimes. Because of this, people who don't like being by themselves often feel like they are just a part of the group rather than possessing a distinct identity. When it comes to forging deep connections or achieving personal objectives, they might find it difficult to stand out or to assert themselves. Number 5. They might rely too much on other people for emotional support. People who detest alone frequently rely on others for emotional support. In fact, they frequently struggle to survive without it. A person who needs frequent assurance from others won't be able to manage life properly on their own, which might lead to unpleasant circumstances. And if you're the one giving them this assurance, you might find it difficult to meet all of their needs. Number 6. They are afraid of missing out. In the modern world, where social media and other technology make it simple to stay connected with others and see what they're up to, this dread of missing out can be particularly difficult. The urge to continually check their phones or social media accounts to stay current on what others are doing can further exacerbate the fear of missing out among people who don't appreciate isolation. Some people make it their top priority to avoid being alone, and they will go to tremendous lengths to do so. This may entail putting others' needs before their own and accepting social invitations even when they don't really want to. Number 7. Need continuous validation and attention. It goes without saying that people who detest being alone tend to be fairly reliant on the approval and attention of others. There may be several reasons for this necessity. Some people can continually seek for praise out of a fear of rejection, which keeps them from feeling inadequate or unworthy. Others can constantly seek attention due to a deep-seated yearning to feel important or valued. Basically, unless they have someone nearby to tell them they're doing great or to give them a small confidence boost, many people find it difficult to feel good about themselves. Number 8. They lack constant stimulation or activity and feel bored or unfulfilled. When there is nothing to do, people who detest being alone a lot often feel bored or unfulfilled. This is most likely because of how difficult it is for them to adjust to a slower, more lonely pace due to their fast-paced, socially focused lifestyle. They battle with restlessness or anxiousness when not actively engaged in something engaging, necessitating regular stimulation or action to keep their brains busy. These people may also experience a lack of fulfillment in the absence of other people. This propensity is probably due to a need to find significance in social relationships, which makes it challenging to feel the same level of fulfillment by oneself. When they are alone, they frequently have a sense of emptiness or unhappiness. There is a lot more to be said about this, but for now, suffice it to say that there may be a number of unsettling reasons why some people despise being alone themselves so much. However, it is always preferable to be understanding and refrain from passing judgment on others for their preferences. It's crucial to learn how to deal with your feelings of loneliness rather than just avoiding them if you simply can't handle being by yourself. Otherwise, you run the risk of becoming totally reliant on other people for your fulfillment and happiness in life. Give this video a thumbs up if you find it useful and tell your friends about it so we can make more like it. Click the subscribe button to see more content like this, and don't forget to activate the notification bell. Watch our other videos as well if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.